What's up, everybody? It's your boy, call me LQ, back with the Show and Speak Easy. Today, I want to talk about the Game Awards, and I'm actually going to do a live vote. So if you're watching the video, you get to see my vote live and get to hear my takes on each game, why I think each game will win, and what my favorite pick is for each category. So last year, I talked about the awards, went through the whole voting process. Today, I'm doing it again, but this time you get a visual. So, hey, we moving up in the world. So, first category, Game of the Year. I hate that we vote Game of the Year first, but it seems like it's anticlimactic after that. But nominees, Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor, Reventasio. So, to be 100% with y'all, I have played 3 of these games. I have watched 2 of these games. And I really, really, really want Astrobot. But I don't have a PS5. So, for me, personally, Balatro is the best and most addicting and refreshing game I have played in probably the past decade. Metaphor Refantasio is a fantastic game. And if the game that I think is going to win doesn't win, it should definitely be Metaphor. My choice is Balatro for Game of the Year. Now, who do I think will win? I think Astrobot has this one this year. I think Astrobot is the clear favorite. It's not only just the most highly reviewed, but it is innovative in a space where we haven't really seen that many amazing platformers, 3D platformers to be specific, in the past few years. So I think they get the nod. And I think they get the nod for the win. But my choice is still Balatro. I would say followed up by Metaphor Refantasio. Black Myth Wukong is a very fun, very good, very complex game. But it doesn't have what it takes to win in these categories. It still has a few low points. And it's not like they're major low points, but I would say if every game here is supposed to be 10 out of 10 or like a 9 out of 9, to me, Black Myth Wukong is the closest to being like an 8 or an 8.5 compared to the other games here. Elden Ring Shadow of Erdtree does not belong. It should not be nominated. I do not care if the DLC was 40 hours. Can you play Shadow of Erdtree without owning Elden Ring? No. So it shouldn't be recognized as a nominee. I feel like Tekken 8 got robbed. It's very undeserved, a very undeserved nomination. Create another category. I feel like they got screwed over. But on to the next category. Balatro is my choice, but if I'm a betting man, Astrobot will win. Best game direction. It says award for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. I'm gonna let y'all know now. This one to me is the easiest. It's Metaphor. I don't think there's another game, any game that resembles like the Persona art direction or game direction usually is going to be a favorite. But my God, they made turn-based combat fast. They made it fluid. They made it make sense. And then also it's challenging in the right spaces. It's a beautiful game through and through. And I really like the story of it as well, which is part of that creative vision. You basically get to play, like, you get to play as a character, but you yourself, you're kind of like the overseeing God controlling this character. And I know that sounds very obvious because you're playing a character, but no, you actually get the notoriety for that position in the game. And I think that's incredible. I would say who I think is going to win. I think it actually may be Balatro for best game direction, which is wild. It's either going to be that or if Erdtree wins it, I would be pissed still because it doesn't deserve to be in this category whatsoever. It's kind of like Song of the Year and Record of the Year. Like both of those kind of resemble the same thing, and you wouldn't put a cover as Song of the Year or Record of the Year. That's my issue with Elden Ring. So if I were to be I actually think Metaphor should be the favorite, not just because it's my choice. I genuinely think it should be the favorite to win. But Astrobot is also a very innovative game as well. coming from a 3D platform perspective, but also the use of the PS5 controller and the system itself. It's a beautiful game. It has a lot of innovation in it. I wouldn't be surprised if it won, but I do think Metaphor should be the first in consideration. Balatro, just a roguelike deck building game that is based on poker. To me, that is the most creative vision. But looking at, like, it doesn't have a story, or driving narrative. So I think that's going to be the point that draws away from it, and that will give Metaphor Refantasio the advantage here. So that's my vote. Let's go to the next one. On to the next. On to the next one. Best narrative. All right. So in any other space, this would easily be Senua Saga Hellblade 2. But there is an issue. It's more of the same. And I think that is going to drive people away from it. Once again, Silent Hill 2, it's a remake. The narrative is the same as the original. I think with just like some more in-depth exploration of that main narrative. So I'm not going to say that it shouldn't be nominated. I just don't think it'll win. I don't think there's anything regarding their storytelling that's going to win it. For the crazy thing is, Final Fantasy Rebirth is most likely going to win this. I don't want it to, but it's a story that people loved, and then with this being the remake, I know what's going to happen. But the exploration of the depth of it and expanding it out to be different, I feel like is what's going to make it the leader here. I will still say my top two were Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. From a visual perspective, I actually watched someone play this game. I didn't play it myself. Metaphor Refantasio as a 60-hour plus game with the storytelling of, this fantasy book and creating this utopian world in the I would say the divisiveness in governments and how the world should be created to get to this utopian state, the constant battle of war, even delving into, my character's name is Bruno, but delving into Bruno and his friendship with his best friend who has been cursed. I think it could win, and I think it has a good chance, but most likely it will lose. So I'll give it my vote, but I'm telling you, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is the favorite here. Best art direction. All right. This is tough. So, this is the one where I do believe Metaphor actually is the favorite. Neva is a beautiful game. Like, it looks simple. It's a 2D action platformer. Is an absolutely incredible looking game. To be, less graphically intense than some of the other ones here, which a lot of people are going to vote for that. I know Neva is not going to even get close to winning, but it deserves votes. I would say the favorite here, outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation, Metaphor is the favorite. I'm actually slightly pulling for Astrobot. I think I'm still going to vote for Metaphor. Dang, I voted for Metaphor a lot already. We'll go back and look at all the categories soon. But I'm going to vote for Metaphor on this one. I'm going with the favorite. But I do think Astrobot has a good chance. Best score in music, straight up. The favorite is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I have no real dog in this fight because the only one that I've played is Metaphor. I want Astrobot to win something. I'm not going to vote for it for this because I don't know. But I will say this is where Final Fantasy Rebirth will probably shine. I'm actually going to still vote for Metaphor. The scores in the game is excellent, but I'm not going to lie. I was actually kind of tired of hearing the music after a while. But once you get into a battle scene, oh my God, it's worth it. So best audio design is recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. It's between Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy Rebirth is there again, Sensible Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. The favorite here will probably be Sensible's Hellblade 2, just because the commitment to diving into mental health, and I think that's with the sound design of the like speaking words, speaking into the schizophrenia, and whispering into the ear, and like all these different thoughts, and like basically living out Sensua's character and how her mental stability works, and then going into um the sound design of like being in this world where it's like kind of empty, but then the soundscapes like the getting more intense, like when things get more intense and like the sounds get louder and all this stuff. I think it has a very good chance, but I personally think Astrobot should win it. Best performance, let's see: Brianna White, Final Fantasy Rebirth; Hannah Tell, Life is Strange; Humberly Gonzalez, Star Wars Outlaws. I'm gonna let you know now. The game isn't received well enough to get votes. Luke Robertson, Silent Hill 2, I've heard is incredible. I'm going with Melina Jurgens, who is in Hellblade Senua 2. I think she did an incredible job in the first one. From what I've heard of her performance in the second, it's great. Innovation and accessibility, recognizing software or hardware, is pushing the medium forward. I haven't heard too much about Star Wars Outlaws or Diablo 4 in those regards. The only thing I know is about Dragon Age Veilguard and Prince of Persia The Lost Crown. I will go with Prince of Persia The Lost Crown for this one. I think Veilguard has some great accessibility features, but your jumping interactive button is the same, and I hate it. Next up, games for impact, for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Closer the distance. I have no idea what the game is, but I kind of want to look it up. It looks like it's about something about family. Indica is, I believe, based in religion, if I'm not mistaken, and women's rights. Neva is nurture, like very nurture based, and the building the bond and relationship between the main character and her wolf dog mythical creature is actually very wonderfully done. I think it will probably get some votes there. Life is Strange Double Exposure will probably get a lot of votes. I haven't played it, but most Life is Strange stories definitely have great impact. Sensuous Saga Hellblade 2 will not get that many votes, and it's because of it being more of the same. And I hate to say that, but it is. Tales of Kenzara Zao easily gets my vote. The story of boyhood going into manhood, about loss and dealing with death, it made me feel so good. I'm so glad that I played that game. I know a lot of people were like, oh, it's not the best Metroidvania or anything like that. The story itself is a driving force on coming into manhood and dealing with loss, and also culture. I believe it did an excellent job of portraying all those things. I really hope more people play Tales of Kenzara's out. I know it probably won't win, but it definitely deserves it. Best ongoing game, awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2. To me, this is the easiest one to vote for. It's Helldivers 2. Had the biggest moment in gaming pretty much all year. I don't think any game really popped off like Helldivers did, where it captivated so many people, and it has a player base that is just so awesome. I really enjoy other people that I've played that game with, and that's very rare. The only other game I've been able to say that about is maybe Monster Hunter. Best community support, recognizing the game for outstanding community support, transparency and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches. Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. I believe No Man's Sky won last year. I don't want to give it that again. I'm going to stick with Helldivers 2. Baldur's Gate 3, if it won, it should have won it last year. Fortnite, it's whatever. I think they listen to more what brings in the money than anything else. And Final Fantasy 14, I'll be honest, I don't care. Helldivers 2 gets my vote. Best independent game. There is no real argument here. The favorite is Balatro, followed by Animal Well. The best game here is Balatro. I do believe UFO 50 deserves some recognition. I think they made an incredible game. Neva is an awesome game. I'm very glad I played it. I'm gonna beat it pretty soon. It's just a great find. But Balatro wins this one. I think Balatro could sweep just about any category that it's in. Best debut indie game: Animal Well, Balatro, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and The Plucky Squire. Balatro is the favorite. Animal Well is the sleeper. The Plucky Squire is arguably I wouldn't say it's my favorite game in this category, but it's my favorite type of game, and they executed it very well. I beat it on stream. I was very proud of it, of what they created. I think it's an awesome game. I'm glad they got nominated, but it's Balatro. It's definitely Balatro. Best mobile game. They have AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon trading card game, and they have Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zone Zero. This is obviously Balatro. Whoa. This thing tried to make me vote for AFK Journey. No, it's easily Balatro. It's the most interactive, least passive game listed. And also, it is the most unique out of all the games listed as well. Let's see. Best VR and AR: Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellsinger VR, and Metro Awakening. I think this is a two-man race between Batman Arkham Shadow and Metro Awakening. I have not seen that many good reviews for Arizona Sunshine Remake, and Asgard's Wrath 2 seems to be a little redundant for VR in VR. Hellsinger VR is probably great, but I haven't seen or heard anything about it. So I'm going to go ahead and vote with Batman Arkham Shadow on this one. Best action game. Let's see. For the best game in the action genre, focus primarily on combat. We got Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2, Stellar Blade, Helldivers 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and Black Myth Wukong. For me, this easily goes to Black Myth Wukong, having some very creative combos, all of the spirits that you can unlock, all of the magic that you can do, even the transformations. Just Black Myth Wukong is still a really good game. I don't want it to be Game of the Year, but it is definitely the best action game. Best action adventure. This isn't even. I'll read you off the nominees, but I already know who I'm voting for, and it's not even close. You got the Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, Star Wars Outlaws, Silent Hill 2, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and Astrobot. It's Astrobot by a mile. It's by far the best action adventure game to come out. Best RPG. For the best game design with rich player character customization and progression, including massive multiplayer experiences, we have Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring Shadow of Erdtree, which should not be nominated, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I argue if it should be nominated, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor ReFantazio. If I think Metaphor ReFantazio should be competing for Game of the Year, of course I think it's going to be the best RPG. It is the best RPG. It has the most innovation. It is the most original. It has a bunch of great elements to it, especially for it to be turn-based. Chef's kiss. Best fighting game: Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Final Fantasy. Oh, my bad. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, the arcade classics. Honestly, shouldn't be nominated. Multiverses had a huge comeback in Tekken 8. I think Tekken 8 should have been nominated for Game of the Year over Shadows of Erdtree. Um, I've seen Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising. It looks like Blaze Blue. No disrespect to that. It's just, it doesn't look like it's doing anything design wise that is different. I've played Multiverses multiple times. It's a fun game, but it doesn't deserve a win here. It's not better than most of the other games that are even listed. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is fun and I kinda hate it. Online is an atrocious experience. The skill gap is so huge, and for there to be a list of over 100 characters to only have like a third of that roster be viable, especially in online play or in competitive play, I think is ridiculous. I think it's very poor design. I think Dragon Ball Fighters is still the best Dragon Ball fighting game to exist, but Sparking Zero is a love letter to those that love the Tenkaichi series, and I am happy that they have this. It is a good game. I don't think it's the best game. Even for somebody that doesn't like 3D fighting games, Tekken 8 is a marvel, and I wish that I was good at it. Tekken 8 easily gets my vote here. Best family game. I know this is going to be a little bit of a shock, but these are probably, this is my bread and butter right here. But anyway, we got Astrobot, Princess Peach Showtime, Super Mario Party Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and The Plucky Squire. The Plucky Squire is getting my vote. I know that it's not the best in this category, but it is my absolute favorite. I loved every bit of the game, and the innovation behind how you play in a 2D to 3D world is crazy. I also think the writing is very family friendly, especially for there to be so much dialogue. It was great. The narrator in that game is awesome and keeps everybody interested. I hope the Plucky Squire gets more votes. Best sim and strategy game. This is my least favorite category of games, so this one will be pretty short. Age of Mythology Retold. I've watched a couple people play it. Frostpunk 2 seemed just like an expansion of Frostpunk 1, which is a damn good game, especially from what I've heard. Kinitsugami Path of the Goddess was a cool game that I didn't like at all. I just didn't. I guess it caught me at the wrong time. For a tower defense game, it has some cool historical elements. It's very colorful, which is usually down my alley. But I didn't like it. Manor Lords, I think I've seen a couple people play it, but I don't care. And Unicorn Overlord is most likely the most complete of the games that I've seen, especially being strategy, and it's the most intriguing. It's one of those games, though, I'm still just not going to play, but I'd rather watch it than anything else. So I will say, to get someone that doesn't like the genre into the genre and to have them be interested, Atlas, you've done it again. Unicorn Overlord for the win. Best sports and racing game. There's F1 24, EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K25, Top Spin 2K25, and WWE 2K24. I don't like any of these games that much, but WWE is consistently better than most year over year. So I'll just vote 2K again. Best multiplayer: Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. I have owned 4 of these titles. I do have Black Ops 6 installed. I haven't played it yet, but I already know what to expect, so I'm not really, I'm not dying to play it. I have Helldivers 2. I just played it recently. It's about a couple days ago. Tekken 8. I really love the game, but I just suck at it so bad. And then Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. I've played this with friends. I beat the entire story. All these games this is probably the most balanced category out of everything we've seen. Best multiplayer is a dogfight, and no matter who wins outside of Black Ops 6, I think I'll be very happy. But my vote goes to Helldivers 2. After the first hiccup of the game was so huge on launch, there were server issues of people not being able to play the game for almost the whole entire first day. And afterwards, the community The ability to jump in and out of missions, the feeling of being a part of something in the game and being fully immersed into a game that literally is just like, you know, pro human propaganda, all alien hate propaganda, all robot hate propaganda. It's fun. It's funny and it's exciting. I love Helldivers 2 in this category. I hope they win. Best adaptation. Recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game into another entertainment medium. So we got Arcane, the adaptation of League of Legends, Fallout, the adaptation of Fallout, Knuckles, the adaptation from Sonic, Like a Dragon, Yakuza, which of course is the Like a Dragon series, and Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft. It's Fallout. Fallout is the best adaptation I have ever seen in any medium. I think Arcane is awesome. I even think Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft was pretty good. I haven't watched Knuckles. I haven't seen Like a Dragon, but the reason why I don't really even care to see those is because of how amazing Fallout is, and I'm not even all the way caught up. Just what I've seen was it. Like, I've never finished a Fallout game. I've put a bunch of hours into New Vegas. I've even played 76. Don't play 76. And everything that embodies what Fallout is definitely in that show. Easy vote for me. Most anticipated game. Why are we even kidding ourselves? It's Grand Theft Auto 6. Oh, you wanted to hear the other nominees? Sure, I got you. Death Stranding 2, On the Beach. Ghost of Yotai, which is the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. Outstanding game. Metroid Prime 4, Beyond. Yeah, we'll get Grand Theft Auto before we get that one. Monster Hunter Wilds. It comes out in February. The anticipation is very low because it is very real. Grand Theft Auto 6. Content Creator of the Year. So, I only know 3 people listed, which is Typical Gamer, USADA Pecora, and Queso. It is Queso. I hope Queso wins. Queso is the best. Now for the category I'm absolutely least versed in, which is best esports game. I've watched my friends play these. I don't like any of these games. But between Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, what? And Valorant, I hate League of Legends the least. So there you go. There's my vote. League of Legends. Have at it. Best esports athlete. I know this is weird, but they're all winners in my book. I don't necessarily have a favorite, so Faker it is. Now, the teams, on the other hand, I'm a little bit more familiar with. Like the Billy Gaming, Gen G, Navi, T1, and Team Liquid for Dota 2. Since I voted for League, I'm going with T1. And that's it, y'all. We voted together. I know there's supposed to be, so it says round 1 opens December 2nd, round 2 opens December 5th, and then round 3 is December 9th. So maybe I'll be doing a follow up and we'll be voting again. Until then, hope y'all have fun. I definitely have fun doing my voting. Make sure to go vote for the Game Awards same way you did in November. Or if you didn't, video games are a little bit more exciting to vote for, I guess. But until next time, Shonen Speakeasy. We out.